subscription boxes worth it? I guess really the answer comes down to personal preference. But in today's video, I'm going to talk about some of the pros and cons of book subscription boxes, talk about some of my experiences with them in the past, as well as maybe some cons that come along with them. There are many book subscription boxes out there, whether you're looking for a surprise book every month or maybe even as infrequently as once a quarter, there are plenty of choices out there. What I also like about the book subscription boxes is that you can get an idea of what you're signing up for pretty much off the bat. Usually they are categorized by genre or some other kind of audience targets, such as looking for young adult books rather than adult books, or vice versa. So you can get a surprise book within a set range. What's also nice about these boxes is that you can get access to a special edition book. Now, you may or may not value this, but sometimes having a nice version of a book is a little bit special. For example, one such book I got as an example, I believe from the Goldsborough one, is Inkblood Sister Scribe, which is a book I'm going to be reading very shortly. Now, this is obviously a little bit different from your standard book. We have a foiled cover, there are sprayed edges, but really any kind of book subscription box will offer any kind of different customization. So really, it depends on the provider. So special edition books are a nice touch, especially if you can get one in a favourite book or anything like that, that really makes keeping it just that little bit extra special. What I also really like about the current offerings is that you can get both book-only subscriptions or subscriptions that include some bookish themed items or merchandise. Now personally, I think I would struggle to use the extra pieces. However, some people absolutely love them. Don't get me wrong, these extra items are a lovely touch. Whether you get yourself anything from like a toiletry bag to a mug to special like fan art, you know, there are some really good quality items there. But personally, I think I would struggle to use them. I would just end up kind of hoarding them and not getting any benefit out of them. So I actually only really have an interest in book-only subscriptions. However, that's not to say that the books with the themed items aren't for other people. What I also do really like about the boxes that contain those is that the providers often try to reach out to like smaller or indie artists and things like that in order to get those items. So we get the chance to explore and obviously support local artists, you know, more independent people, rather than something for the masses. I suppose the main draw for picking up these subscription boxes though is getting a chance to discover new books, or at least books you wouldn't necessarily pick up for yourself, in a way that offers a surprise element. Would I have picked up Inkblood Sister Scribe of my own volition? Maybe, but maybe not. So what I like about these boxes is that we get a chance to get something different, explore some novelty, maybe find something new that we have never tried before. It's also a way to get a book within a set genre or audience or whatever your criteria is, that gives you a chance to read out of your comfort zone. And if that's something you actively look to do, like I do, then this is a big win in terms of taking away any kind of decision making when it comes to trying to find something different, and really makes that easier for us all to do. The final, I suppose, nice touch about these book boxes is that you often get some element of like skips a year. So if you don't like a particular theme or whatever, or the book, for example, for a given month, you don't necessarily have to pay for it and receive it. So there's only really a handful of these a year as far as my experience goes of these, but it is a nice touch that you're not necessarily saddled with one particular book if you really don't like the sound of it. I do find, however, there are some cons to these subscriptions. The first of them being they're actually very hard to get onto. They are very popular, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it means if you want to get yourself onto a list, there's often quite a wait time in order to actually get a place come available in order for you to subscribe onto it. My other niggle with these boxes is that they're often not the cheapest way of getting a book. And if you can afford them, that's absolutely great. I was subscribed to the Goldsboro science fiction and fantasy book for a few months, which is where I got Inkblood Sister Scribe from. Among some other books, I believe Dragonfall is one of them. There are a couple of others. I'll pop some pictures in so you can see what else I got. But basically, I ended up cancelling the subscription just because it was a bit too pricey. Don't get me wrong, it was nice to get a new fancy book every month, but they're not the cheapest, and sometimes financially you can't always commit to having that. The also kind of drawback I find personally, and I don't know if it's necessarily just because of where I live, but being off the UK mainland makes the postage quite expensive. Everybody thinks I might as well be living in Timbuktu. So although these boxes are not the cheapest anyway, I quite often find I'm having to pay almost a third of the price again on top, if not more, on postage. So that really just kind of makes them a little bit unviable for me at times. Now I'm considering going on to a quarterly subscription box because that's not going to be too onerous in the long run. But monthly, I find that's just a little bit much. But that's just my financial circumstances, and obviously if you're living on mainland UK or much closer to where your boxes are being packed from, then postage probably isn't going to be a problem for you as it was for me. Overall, I think book subscription boxes are a lovely touch. It's something I would like to be able to do a little bit more frequently. And if I do, I will let you know how I get on with them, what I sign up for, and obviously I'll share some of those with you down the line. But as it stands currently, I'm not subscribed to any right now. Like I say, I'm on some lists, but it won't be for a monthly box just because I can't really justify that. Do you subscribe to any subscription box? If so, let me know what they are in the comments, what kind of frequency they send their books for, and what genres or audience they cater for, because I'm interested to find out and broaden my horizons on what's available out there. Let me know if you have also found any of these pros and cons, and let me know your feedback. Is there anything you would like to change about them? Thanks for watching today's quick opinion video, and I look forward to posting again very shortly. Bye for now.